The milk was spilled on the kitchen floor. The pages were torn, making the book difficult to read. The children were excited and could hardly wait for the field trip. The hiker was exhausted but finally reached the summit. The car was repaired and ran smoothly after the tune-up. The dog was frightened and hid under the bed during the storm. The window was broken, letting in a cold draft. The mural was painted, brightening the entire room. The bike was stolen but recovered by the police. The textbook was used but still in good condition. The report was written and was detailed and informative. The house was abandoned and stood empty for years. The meal was cooked and smelled delicious. The student was confused and asked for help. The store was closed and had a sign in the window. The ice cream was melted and made a sticky mess. The criminal was captured and taken to jail. The project was finished and earned an A. The truck was loaded and headed to its destination. The ligament was torn and required surgery. The athlete was injured and needed medical attention. The friend was trusted and offered comforting words. The author was published and spoke at the event. The clothes were folded and put away neatly. The toy was broken but fixed by Dad. The pumpkin was carved and glowed in the dark. The book was chosen and was a favorite among students. The map was drawn and showed the way to the treasure. The opportunity was missed and was a lesson learned. The homework was checked and had no mistakes. The toast was burnt and filled the kitchen with smoke. The instructions were given and were easy to follow. The door was closed and muffled the noise. The fence was painted and looked fresh and new. The pond was frozen and safe for skating. The reading was required and was challenging but rewarding. The treasure was hidden but finally discovered. The clock was broken and stopped ticking. The glass was shattered and covered the floor. The document was signed and filed away. The room was decorated and ready for the party. The team was selected and excited to compete. The clothes were soaked and hung out to dry. The papers were scattered and needed to be organized. The pasta was cooked and perfectly chewy. The advisor was trusted and gave good advice. The canvas was painted and depicted a beautiful scene. The hedges were trimmed and looked neat and tidy. The car was used but ran like new. The gift was wrapped and was a surprise. The basket was woven and strong and durable. The key was lost but found under the couch. The employee was fired and looked for a new job. The contract was signed and binding. The password was forgotten but reset. The plants were grown and needed watering. The chicken was roasted and smelled delicious. The chair was broken but repaired. The flag was captured and won the game. The puzzle was completed and framed. The vegetables were cooked and healthy and tasty. The fans were excited and cheered loudly. The scholar was learned and shared his knowledge. The deadline was missed and resulted in a penalty. The window was closed and kept the room warm. The apples were peeled and ready for the pie. The statue was carved and was a masterpiece. The snow was melted and created puddles. The song was played and became an instant hit. The book was forgotten and covered in dust. The fabric was woven and soft to the touch. The roof was repaired and stopped the leaks. The document was saved and prevented data loss. The guests were invited and arrived on time. The house was cleaned and spotless. The oranges were peeled and juicy and sweet. The sword was drawn and glinted in the light. The rice was cooked and fluffy and light. The leaves were scattered and raked into a pile. The ally was trusted and provided crucial support. The ceiling was painted and added character to the room. The homework was finished and turned in. The promise was broken and hurt deeply. The gates were closed and signaled the end of the event. The moment was captured and preserved in a photograph. The bicycle was repaired and rode smoothly. The painting was stolen but recovered. The train was missed and caused a delay. The cookies were burnt and smelled terrible. The agreement was signed and mutually beneficial. The letter was opened and contained good news. The ingredients were added and improved the recipe. The book was closed and placed on the shelf. The essay was written and well argued. The appointment was forgotten but rescheduled. The ornament was carved and hung on the tree. The ink was spilled and stained the paper. The handle was broken but fixed. The race was finished and a personal victory. The seeds were planted and grew into beautiful flowers.